Did you notice any particular connection among the deceased?
They all belonged to the retinue of the royal family, and therefore must have known each other. But beyond that, I don't see anything special permitting to establish a connection among them. But perhaps you will find helpful details in my notes. You know, I do not spend much time in the company of my fellow men, so sometimes I have a hard time understanding them.
Since your arrival, have there been any new incidents?
Unfortunately, yes. Yesterday, Her Majesty's coachman, and this morning, the castle librarian.
You mean the latest victim is not part of the royal retinue?
It's true. I hadn't thought of that. But it's probably not very significant. The curse is following Her Majesty. There are but 4 deaths left, my young friend, before evil strikes the royal family itself. Let us hope you can thwart the plans of the devil, with the help of God.
Could I see the bodies of the coachman and of the librarian, and also the places where they found them?
The librarian, Philibert, was found in the scriptorium, but I had him carried to the chapel to prepare him for burial. So start by visiting the library. It's just at the bottom of the stairway. You'll see that the accident that killed him caused a great deal of damage.
And the coachman?
He has already been buried. What with fear of the plague, bodies have to be got rid of quickly.
I understand. Thank you for your assistance. Did you know the librarian?
Only slightly. We exchanged a few words, but nothing important. I only know that he'd been here just 10 days or so, and had a lot of work. The Archdiocese has many precious works, but till now, nothing had been done to classify them properly.
That must be where the librarian's body was found. There might be something important to discover. I'll have to clear it. The zodiac isn't complete, yet the astrological signs of the victims seem to follow in order. Too high. Now, that's better. At last I'll be able to examine up close the place where that poor Philibert died. Well before the Romans occupied France, the Celts, a pagan people from the north, claimed to be able to predict the future. It is said they built many underground temples, where they conducted dark ceremonies. So, Philibert was interested in the Celts and their temples. It's surprising that he'd spend time on this sort of thing when the scribe said he had so much to do since his arrival. He didn't lose enough blood to die from that. He must have passed away due to an internal injury. These books are magnificent. Luckily, they weren't damaged in the fall. Given the fall they've suffered, they ought to be in pitiful shape. Strange, this pile of sawdust. That's what I thought. The break is too clean to be due to wear. Someone sawed this shelf. Philibert's death was therefore no accident. But who within these walls would have a reason to kill him?
Have you found anything interesting?
Jean-Aimé, I should have suspected you'd not be far away. I'm delighted to see you again in Salon.
I as well, young César. You've changed a great deal since our last meeting, and you must have made great strides, too, for your father to send you in his place, unless he's really in very poor health.
You can go visit him if you're worried about him. He'll be delighted to show you he's not yet an invalid. But to get back to this case, I've actually discovered that the librarian's death wasn't accidental. In any case, the shelf didn't fall on its own. It was sawed through.
Barely arrived and you already suspect a murder. You don't waste any time.
I'm merely observing. I'll draw my conclusions later. I haven't even examined the poor man's body yet.
It's in the chapel. I won't go with you. I've just come from there. And besides a head injury that must have caused his death, Philibert doesn't have much to show us anymore.
I'll make sure of that myself.
Well then, see you later, César. If you need help, I'll be in my office. Being the son of a talented man has never helped anyone prove intelligent.
I'll remember that.
I was joking, you know that. Oh, say hello to your charming sister when you get the chance. If she hadn't been a woman, I'm sure your father would have sent her instead of you.
Hey, it looks as if Jean-Aimé wasn't as rigorous in his observations as he'd like us to think. This confirms what I saw in the library. This wound scarcely bled. It was certainly not the cause of death. If I had any doubts left, they're gone now. Poison is the only explanation for the condition of his tongue. I wonder how this detail could have eluded Jean-Aimé, and especially, why go to so much trouble to make believe it was an accident? This closet must have contained something important if it was forced open like this. But what? Maybe Philibert's things. Looks like that burglar forgot something. What's happening to me? It looked like the dead librarian. All that's left is to piece together what was erased. What do you know? Looks like I found it. AMP 45. I wonder if it's best for me to see Chavigny as César or as myself.